If you've ever wondered how elite competitive golfers train, this is for you. In this video, I'm going to take you inside one of my training sessions, giving you exclusive access to how I prepare in the gym and how I groove my swing, letting you in on all of the secrets that help me create elite speed and accuracy. So sit back and enjoy. This is how I train.
Get on the green, go in the hole. Go in the hole. Go. Bro. Another day on the grind. Jeez, look at this. It's like a playground. We got a full practice session planned. Get after it in the gym a little bit, get warm, get primed, then come hit some balls, work on the swing. Show you guys what I'm working on. Yeah, it should be fun. This is like my playground here. We got swing data. We got everything we need to get dialed. See if we can't get the body warm first, and let's get to work. So first thing, I always start out with mobility. I always hit the hips hard first. Get the hips open, get the shoulder and upper chest open, upper back, and really prime those areas first, because that's my most important areas, and it's really most people's most important areas. And then I can move into some kind of strength work and or just power work, getting things primed. So first, I like to start with things on the ground. So I like this sort of hip half circle where I kind of sit into a deep stretch in my groin and kind of move it around, just get the hips open. This is the biggest thing for me that really saves my back, is just getting my hips open. So I'm feeling it mostly in the groin and also in the outside of the joint socket. So I like this because we're in a closed chain position with this leg. And so I'm really kind of pushing my leg down into the ground and getting those muscles really contracting. So that helps more than just kind of like passive stretching it, where it'll stiffen right back up afterwards. I'm trying to activate those muscles. So I'm kind of really pushing my knee into the ground. I'm trying to get all those hip muscles activated. And I'll just kind of find really tight parts. I'll kind of move around, find real stiff areas. My hips and shoulders feel better now than they did 10 years ago, 100%. I used to just do stretching and just whatever. I mostly just did lifting, when I was younger. And man, it took a toll on my joints and my connective tissues. They were just weak. I combined my experience kind of in the movement science world as a physical therapist. I combined kind of what I know about that, and then just learning a lot. Doing the TPI certification was huge. That opened my eye up to a lot of like golf specific biomechanics and how the kinetics of the swing worked. They do an amazing job over there. Their library is so huge, they can pretty much say unequivocally what the best players do. It's like not really debatable because they have so much science behind it to say, no, this is what they do. Greg Rose and Dave Phillips has been awesome. And then Dr. Kwan, his take is slightly different from the others, but I like to have that different viewpoint because it helps me to be able to create a more well-rounded idea of how people are looking at things who do the research. Because obviously I'm not in a lab doing research myself, so I'm just learning from people, and that's kind of how I take everything. I'll do a warm-up before I hit balls. A lot of days I don't hit balls before a round, but there are no days where I don't do at least a 5-minute, get things warm, get things moving. So here I'm just pushing my knee down in the ground. I'm pushing the back of the top of my foot down. So I'm getting these quad muscles really activated as I'm stretching. So I'm holding that contraction, and then I'm tucking my butt under to really put the quad and the hip flexors on stretch, and then I'm leaning into it. Once again, if I were relaxed, I could go much further, right? But that's not what I'm going for. Because actually, it's called a contract, relax, stretch, basically, where you just activate the tissues in an elongated position, and that actually tricks your nervous system or your neurological system to relax and stretch further. So you can get a lot more out of it in a shorter period of time. So hip airplanes, this is one of my favorites. I really get into this as far as I can. Try and do a little dynamic movement. I feel this in the outside of my hip, in my glutes, super strong. I'm searching for areas that are either feel stiff, sticky, tight, right. If I just kind of push my hip that way slightly, I feel it kind of get sticky in this outside hip. I can feel it's kind of not loving it, but in a good way. It's not sharp pains or anything, but it's just a little achiness, and that tells me those tissues are not prepared to handle that position very well right now. Once again, you're teaching your brain, hey, we got to be able to work in this position. Yeah, I just feel here, it's just firing. I try to learn from the best, and then I kind of use my own knowledge and insight as to what I believe and what I've learned to be true from my own experience, having a background in kinesiology and a little bit of biomechanics myself. So I kind of compare that with my own experience, and then my own experience in the golf swing as well. That's what I like about kinetics and about finding efficiency, right? It's not necessarily that you have to do it that way. It's just like, what's the most efficient way to do it? A lot of my gym programs are just based off of experience and trial and error, finding what works, not only clients, but on myself. Like I'm like my own guinea pig. So I try everything on myself and try to find what works best. And then I can kind of deduce things and create plans for other people. Do a few med ball slams, try and get the power muscles going. I usually like to use about 8 pounds for med ball slams. So I do a few jump slams usually first. All right, so I'm gonna practice kind of training my sequencing of jump. So I'm gonna raise it up, bend, jump and push. Do a few side to sides. All right, so I'm just getting all those kind of type 2 fast twitch fibers, getting them activated. I have trouble getting to my left side early. So I've been working lately a lot on exercises that involve pushing into my left side, my lead side, and getting some golf explosion in there. So I'm kind of right leg dominant, so I like to do everything off pushing with my right foot. I have trouble getting to my left side, so early enough, I should say. So doing a lot of exercises like single leg jump slams, where I'm really pushing with my left foot, doing some banded kind of rotation stuff where I'm pushing my left side. All of that really helping my golf swing, helping me get into that left side earlier and being able to push off the left side. Because actually, PGA Tour pros, they push twice as much off of their lead leg than their trail leg when they're really on pretty much across the board on all shots, especially important with driver. So once again, when I'm doing rotations like this, lots of times I'll add in that push into the lead side, just to kind of add some golf benefit, to train my body to do that. Push off that lead side, create that rotation. So push in, rotate. We're fired up. I'll get in here with my wedges. I'll spend about half the time on my wedges, really trying to dial in distance. Super important for tournament golf. You gotta be able to, inside 150, you gotta be able to dial in your distances. I'll spend about half my time on that. I'll spend about a quarter of my time on kind of my swing, and then I'll spend another quarter of my time on just hitting long clubs, hitting drivers, either kind of speed training sort of stuff or just trying to dial in my numbers with my driver. So I've always had an issue basically kind of standing up through the ball. I early extend here, and then I do a little bit of this as well. So here's a drill that I've been starting out with basically at the start of every session. Kind of set the club there, get into my left side, kind of push into the ground on that direction, like I'm pushing my front foot forward in that direction, pushing my back foot backwards in sort of like a 430 direction, pushing my butt back on a diagonal, and I preset there. All right, so this is kind of, that's my impact sort of. Preset there. And then just make like a little half swing. Trying to get back to that position. And a lot of times when I first started doing the drill, I'll hit a lot of shots fat because I was really extending my arms through impact because I'm used to going up. So I have to extend really hard or else I'll miss the ball. So now, when I get a little bit better there through impact, I kind of got to keep a little bit less straightening of my right arm. So that's kind of a feel I've been having. But this is just I'll do like 5 to 10 balls like this. just kind of get the feel of the staying down, and I can look at it on the monitor and kind of see what my head's doing. It gives me that feedback, which is awesome. Kind of find that low point. I can look at it, see, okay, am I staying down through it? Yeah, pretty good. Because you can't always tell what you're doing by feel, you know? You see it on video and you're like, oh, I thought my head was perfectly still and down, and you're like still pulling up. Do a few of these, kind of get that feel. And then once I kind of have that feel, I'll go ahead and start hitting some full shots. This is a 52 gap wedge. Club path 0.3, so that's going left, but my club path was 0.3, so it almost zeroed out. So that tells me that just the face is a little closed, which I'm probably just not getting through it quite enough. And I absolutely love having all this data at my fingertips. I've been working with studio golf for a few months now, and I really feel like it's helped take my game to the next level because I have all of this data right at my fingertips. It literally tells, I mean, they have the TrackMan, so I have all of my impact data, but also having Sportsbox and having all those kind of variables as far as my swing goes and how my body's moving. For me, it's always about comparing what the best people do. If you're not doing what the best people are doing, then you're probably not going to be doing it as well as you could be. Like, go across the board. Like, yeah, there are players who do it their own way, but generally where it matters most, they're doing the same thing. It may look different, but as far as the kinetics goes, as far as how their body's sequencing, you know, maybe some degrees of movement, those are generally the same across the board. And so people, I think, get confused when they, you know, with the swing your swing thing, and they think that like there's a million ways to do it. Well, there are in certain aspects. Like, you can get there a million ways, but 99% are in certain most important variables, they're the same. And so having Sportsbox and having that data at your fingertips, so to identify those variables and say, okay, this is how you're doing it. Is it working for you? No. Okay, well, maybe we need to change that up and change some of these things. And inevitably, like, especially if you can find a teacher who kind of uses it correctly, knows what they're doing, like, inevitably you're gonna improve if you improve those variables. That ball was flush. See, that one went 177. So normally I hit this about 172. So that one went 177, so it went 5 yards further. All I did on that one was really try to get to my left side early. That was my only thought. And I did it really well. I just absolutely nuked that thing. The ball's nuked. So 213 on the number, 213-1. Boom. If you kind of look at my lower body, you'll notice I kind of am getting a little bit into my trail side slightly before I even take the club back, kind of taking a page out of like Rory or a lot of those long drive guys, their book. And what it does, just by setting it a little bit right early, you have less to time up, is what I'm finding. And so I just shift in just barely into my right side early, then it helps me get left early. If I wait to get right until I'm taking it back, it's hard for me to get back left in time. I end up doing it too late and it throws off everything. So for me, if I can just start shifting a little early, then my feel is I'm pushing left, basically the entire backswing. I'm trying to push left. Basically, the longer the club, the more of that feel I have. So with wedges, I have very little. I'm not really shifting with wedges. I'm just kind of like pushing pressure. So you might not see my body even move because I don't want much movement. And then the longer the club, the more kind of shift I get because the more I want speed. And with driver, you know, I'm kind of really setting into that trail side and then pushing left as early as I can. It's just made the sequencing so much easier. Like, I'm not waiting for things. I'm not, you know, hanging back as much, hitting two-way misses. It's just really just made that, all I have to think about is get left, push, get really get my weight on my lead side, push that hip back, right? Kind of we talked about before, pushing in that direction in order to get my left hip back. And then I'm just releasing it as hard as I can. And when I do it well, the ball just goes straight and the ball speed jumps up. I mean, it's been all good things, really.
Big dog.
We're going big dog here. The ball is smoked. First swing, 120. Pretty much my stock speed on the golf course. But I will do speed training where I'm trying to do everything a little bit bigger into my trail side, a little bit longer backswing, getting harder into my left side, you know, throwing the club harder, more lag, more throw. So I'll do that sort of thing, but I won't do it. I'll do it in bits and pieces. So once again, driver, I'm pushing a little harder into my trail side first. I'm gonna have a little more shift off the ball without changing my pelvis tilts. So I'm trying to keep my pelvis still slightly tilted this way, but I'm just shifting back. I'm not trying to do this. And then I'm getting hard into my left as early as possible. There we go. 123.5 club speed. Path was a little in to out, but I'm thinking more load. I'm thinking more push, maybe a little speedier start, like push and turn. And then I'm thinking really push hard left. And I'm thinking like really kind of allow it to load as much as possible. I think sometimes when I'm trying to hit it harder, I go too fast, like that one probably. And that's why the speed didn't really jump up, even though I swung harder. Like a lot of times my best is when I'm really trying to be lazy, almost take a longer time at the top, but still moving left, because that allows me to really this sort of thing. And then I'm pushing and releasing. Let's see if I can do it one more time. Oh, that is nuked. Get on the green.
That's for sure on the green. Yep.
Get on the green. Go in the hole. Go in the hole.
Go.
Bro, are you serious? Oh, man.
Right there.
Oh, 333. Needed 335, 334. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see the next one on. See you next time.